Hello and welcome to this edition of Intelligent Video Today. I'm your host, Steve Vonderhaar. Join us on today's episode, Navi Azaria, Chief Product Officer over at Kaltura. Welcome, Navi.
Hey, Steve. It's wonderful being here today with you.
Thanks for taking the time for visiting with us, because anybody who knows anything about the video technology business is well aware of what Kaltura has meant for the streaming and webcasting industry for literally decades. But if you could talk a little bit about about what Kaltura has been historically and where you see Kaltura heading now in the age of AI video.
Okay, that's a big question, as you know, but it's always wonderful being here with you as one of the top leaders in the industry, and
You're too
happy to share
kind.
that story of Kaltura with you. So, partly, as you know, Kaltura have been around for about 15 years already, and we are actually powering the world's largest organization. So, about 30% of the world top tech companies, about the top pharmaceutical companies, hundreds of education institutions across the world are using Kaltura. Practically, the world is being streamed by Kaltura today. And we did recognize that we are ahead of a massive AI transformation, and we're in a very unique position to leverage that transformation and to become the leader not only on video streaming, but actually in AI video. So I think that our conversation today is going to be super interesting because I will share with you kind of the inside stories, how we are transforming Kaltura, and most importantly, how we're transforming our customers with AI video, and how we're actually changing the concept from a video streaming to content intelligence.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, you talk about the concept of digital immortality for knowledge, and actually you're going to be talking about that a lot at your upcoming series of Kaltura Connect sessions that are going to be held over the next month or so. What do you exactly mean by that term, digital immortality, and how is video involved in that concept?
So first, I think digital immortality sounds very poetic, right? But it's actually very real. If you think about the knowledge that you have within your organization, all the town halls, the meetings, the onboarding sessions, the training, you know what happens to all that content? It actually disappears. It actually disappears. And we think about knowledge very differently. We believe that knowledge lives forever. But how can you make knowledge live forever? How can you make digital become immortality? And it's not about saving the past. It's literally about activating the future, right? And the concept of digital immortality means that we practically store and archive all your content, but we make it very actionable exactly where you need it. And that's kind of really the main theme of our Connect on the Road that we are starting with literally in about 2 weeks. And we're actually going to take the market by storm with that new concept.
And it's a big concept. Matter of fact, you've used the term, and I love that term. You call it a wisdom base. What exactly is a wisdom base, and why is it different from a traditional enterprise database?
Okay, so you probably know my history, right? I started coding when I was 13, right? And for the last 20 some years, I've been in enterprise software. And actually, my passion was always about databases and analytics and AI. And when I look about on this era and about how LLMs are actually changing unstructured data, it really reminds me how big data changed data or databases. And in essence, what we decided we'll create now within Kaltura, and especially for our customers, is a new concept that's called a wisdom base. And that means that we actually take our customers' videos, and let me give you some numbers. We're actually the custodian of about 100 petabytes of data, of media data for our customers. We have more than 250 million data assets or video assets within our database. And what we do now is that we practically atomize those videos, because each video is text, captions, images, concepts, scenes, motions, and we atomize it into a new wisdom base. This wisdom base is now fully vectorized, meaning that it's actually becoming fully semantic. And now the next layer of that wisdom base is how you create new adaptive experiences for your end users. So wisdom base is really a very actionable database that includes or maintain all your corporate memory within it. And in the next phase of that wisdom base, it's actually to find the serendipity with the end user and the hyper personalization to cater the right atom, or now the right molecule actually, that connects few atoms into an experience that actually never even existed before.
Yeah, it's, with those wisdom bases, you've told me before that really AI becomes the new UI. What do you mean by that, and why is it important for today's enterprise?
I first, I totally love the phrase, right? That AI is the new UI. But let me ask you, what's the best UI?
The best UI is one that individuals can use relatively easily.
I would even argue and say that the best UI is no UI, right? In our real life and everything that we do, we don't need UIs, right? We communicate, we receive content. So in our vision is that GUI, right? The graphical UI is really changing in the new era. And even now within Kaltura, we came up with new UI concept that in some cases, there's literally no UI. You communicate with the system practically understands you, and we're actually converting the whole concept of searching for video into finding the video automatically and finding you the relevant spot, the relevant clips of the video directly for you. So we're really trying to change the whole video market upside down, right? And from GUI and search into hyper personalization content at the right time.
Good data drives you to good outcomes, right? And so a good UI drives you to good outcomes as well. So if you have good data in the AI realm, that it naturally follows that that's going to give you a good user experience as well. So very interesting stuff. And you bring all that together in your product offerings. You use the term shift left. What does that term mean? Shift left, and how does it relate to where Kaltura is headed with its development of AI infused applications?
So as the CPO of Kaltura, right, we recognized that we needed to change the velocity of how we digest and create ideations within our company and how we release products. We also recognize that in the era of AI, you do not invent product, you discover those products with your customers. And in essence, in order to do that, we created a new concept that we call it shift left everything. And this is a new modern product lifecycle, which
It's
is
shift left the whole kit and caboodle on over.
totally. And we actually put the customers in the first phase of that shift left. So every development, every ideation, every concept that we're actually thinking about is jointly with our customers. Actually, just recently, we're doing here in our offices a hackathon, an AI hackathon, and it was with our customers. We collected dozens of requests and concepts of ideas, and we actually put about 30 different teams to develop and to hack our customer wildest ideas. The cool thing here that based on the new process that we created, that shift left process, in matter of literally less than a quarter, we can take now an idea, put it into production and in the hands of customers in order to transform their business. So we practically shift left everything in our process. And the fact that we're doing it, we're putting it ahead of our competition that takes them sometime a year to develop or to release some kind of innovation.
And that shift left works wonders, particularly when you're dealing with companies that have a video first corporate culture. And Kaltura obviously has those established relationships with a broad set of dedicated video users. Do you see that as helping you as you're pioneering some of these new AI applications?
Definitely, Steve. The reason is, and maybe I will count those four reasons, is first and foremost, we are the custodians of one of the world's largest content databases, right? If you think about it, for internal company content, we're probably one of those largest libraries. And no ChatGPT or other OpenAI ripoff that can actually kind of steal the internet have access to that content. We're the only one, and of course, our customers that have that content.
Yeah,
Not only that,
video is the king of all data types, right?
it is, and again, Only two entities have access to that. It's our customers and ourselves. No one else can have that access. Second, we are fully integrated into our customers' business workflow. So we're integrated into the LMSs or CMSs or marketing automation. So when our application is fully integrated, it's actually recognized the user sentiment, the user activity, the actual workflow that the user is actually acting upon. And last, we're also the application layer because we are also the player. So we really understand the user profile, the user behavior, the user preferences. By connecting the content, the workflow, and the user experience, we now collected that magic of AI workflow that we're actually feeding back to the system and pushing new content and feeding back to the system and pushing new content. So that AI first methodology that we came up with, and of course our customers kind of joined this parade, is actually operating extremely well in the AI era.
Yeah, and in that AI workflow, video plays a key role in terms of driving that whole ecosystem. You need to funnel in data at the top, and the best the best data to fill in there is video data. So, really, do you see video driving that AI ecosystem?
Yeah, if we think about it, right? Video, sometimes say that the picture is like 1,000 words. How many words is a video, right? Think about our viewers right now who are actually watching us. You're not just listening in. You're watching, you're understanding what we say. You actually follow our mood. You actually want to see if we're serious about what we're doing or not, etc. So video is a much, much richer content than any other digital content that you can think of. So, and more than that, if you think about an average American spends in front of a video more time than any other activity aside of sleeping.
Yeah.
And by the way, during weekend, when you binge, you might actually have more video than even sleeping, right? But let's think about each one of us. How much time do we spend on video conference call every day? On actually browsing content sites with video, on training ourselves based on video, even YouTube and TikTok, etc. And Netflix, of course, TV, and we are powering some of the world's largest TVs like Vodafone TV, etc. So we believe that video capture about 25 to even 30% of a regular day for a regular American. And such, when you actually atomize, vectorize, making that content accessible for that end user, it's really a big transformation, and nothing can match that today.
Now you got to be a proud papa. Just a little less than a month ago at the NAB show in Las Vegas, Kaltura got a award for best product of the show for your TV Genie. Now that's not the only Genie you have. You have a Genie in education, a Genie in enterprise. Tell me about your Genie product line and what you're doing with that line of solutions.
So first, Steve, I love our Genies, right? For me,
Yeah.
Genie is so transformative. Genie is actually a set of AI agents that works for you while you are sleeping or while you're eating. Genies are doing your work and actually making that accessible for you when you need them. So really, we got super excited about NAB recognizing our achievement in product and kind of the TV Genie that we launched in IBC just a couple of months before really start catching up. And if you think about TV Genie, think about like a conversational TV or a cognitive TV that understand your needs or your preferences or your mood better than anyone else. When I presented TV Genie internally, I said, you know what? It looks like it understands me better than my wife understands me. So it's actually so smart, right? And then we actually came up with our Class Genie, which focusing on learning and training engagement, right? And by really transforming digital learning. Because now with Class Genie, you log in and you say, hey, what did I miss in class? And it's automatically give you the highlights from the lecture that you missed. Or, hey, Genie, please have me prepare for that exam. And it automatically kind of cater you a very focused training journey with flashcards. And not only that, we also launch our Work Genie.
Yeah,
And this
in the enterprise, I would guess it's all about getting the right piece of content to the right person at the right time.
Totally. And I would say those agents, Genie, it's curate the content, it's personalize the content, and in essence, it's actually acting on the content as well. So if you let it act upon your request, it will, or it will actually act automatically, of course, with the guardrails that you will define. So I believe that our Genies, basing on our content and our data with the guardrail that we allows behind them, is really transforming how people are experiencing information, acting upon information, and also delivering information.
Now, another area where you're leveraging agentic AI is a product line or product silo known as the Content Lab. Tell us about that one.
So Content Lab, the reason why I love Content Lab is that one click, 5 agents working for you immediately, and you're actually getting about 10 different assets immediately. And the reason why we created Content Lab was that many of our customers came to us and said, we have so much data and we want to repurpose that content. We want to make it more accessible. We want to make it global. We want to make it social ready. So think about Content Lab like a magic. You come in, you point to your webinar and say, hey, make it social ready. And automatically those 5 agents are running in the background. One is actually making snippets or highlights or clips. The other is actually making it accessible, right? With captions in multiple language, translating it, dubbing it. The other one is actually dealing with the sizing, right? Making sure it's ready for social media, for an example. Should it be ready for Twitter or Instagram or TikTok in a very different way, or LinkedIn or Facebook, etc.? And the other agent is just sitting back, waiting. And when it's ready, he said, let me just go ahead and publish it to the right place, start analyzing engagement, and actually reporting back to you, showing you how to even boost this engagement even further. So Content Lab is that kind of one click, multiple agents running in the background working for you.
It's a great way to really bring applied AI to the content creation process, where you take out some of the hazards of and the basic mundane work, and let content creators really focus on what they need to be focusing on, right?
Definitely. We are all about amplifying the content creators, right? We don't want anyone to do tedious work anymore. If AI can do the nitty gritty of the work, that 80% of heavy lifting, why won't we do it for them? And actually then cater them the 99% almost done work, letting them decide how they want to act upon that content. So definitely all our agentic kind of concept and agentic future is about amplifying the human being and making that work much easier for them to operate in a much, much larger scale. Just one example, we're working with one of the world's largest companies about the webinar program, right? And they're running tons of webinars. And they really want to create personalization of those webinars right after. And they just can't do that because personalization at scale was not available until today with Kaltura. So now we take that, click on Content Lab, have it personalized at scale, and then push it to hundreds or thousands of users just right after the webinar.
Now, you're already doing great things with AI, with Content Lab and the Genies and everything. But, analysts like me, we always want to look around the corner. What's coming down the pike, say, 3 to 5 years from now? What should we be on the lookout for? Where is all this heading over the long haul?
So for me, the biggest thing is actually the transformation between pull to push. So if you think about our current experience, right? For an example, your viewers kind of went to YouTube, they searched for something, right? They got our episode, they're really excited about that, etc. But I want to change that concept. In essence, we believe that those agents that are running on video, etc., should actually cater the right content to the right user at the right time, at the right format. Should it be audio, video? Should it be with authentic personas like us? Should it be with our avatars, right? Really catering to their mood, etc. So we are actually going and thinking very carefully how to change the concept from a lexical search to a semantic push. And that is a very, very big difference, right? And the big thing that we are seeing there is that video is the core of that. We believe that those agents should work for you while you sleep, right? Managing the content behind the scenes and creating an impact. All that is being fed to that beautiful wisdom base that we spoke about and start generating those adaptive experiences with Genie-like products, right? And we have tons of those experiences that we are creating. We actually have a new offering called Unisphere that we didn't announce yet. And this is kind of a new system that allows to create new type of experiences on the fly that you didn't even dream of. And the system recognizes, hey, this is experience that really relate to that person. Let's create that. And if I summarize that, I believe that Kaltura will lead this transformation.
And that's an awesome vision. So many times, video is like a tree falling in the forest. If you don't see it, if you don't hear it, it doesn't make an impact. But you're saying that AI may play a role in really getting the right piece of video in front of our eyeballs when we need to see it. Is that right?
I think, again, I would go back to our digital immortality concept. Right. That's exactly what it is, right? This video that was just recorded, it was a super important meeting, but it disappeared. This video that was just recorded was the best webinar that we ever had, but it disappeared. That video that our CEO really shined and engaged the whole company, but it disappeared. And with our digital immortality, this knowledge is not going to disappear anymore. This knowledge is going to feed the next video creation and the next video creation and the next video creation. And the fact that we are now, first time ever, we are decoupling video from content and presentation layer. And we're atomizing the content and breaking them down. And then we can recreate content and put new presentation layers on top of that content that was never existed before. This is really mind-blowing, but that's going to create the next generation of innovation and knowledge within the enterprise.
Well, Navi, I call this episode Intelligent Video Today. With that kind of commentary, I need to change the title of this thing to Intelligent Video Tomorrow. Such visionary thoughts and concepts. It's going to be fun to watch how this all comes out. Navi Azari, Chief Product Officer at Kaltura, thanks so much for taking the time to visit with us today.
My pleasure, and thank you so much for inviting me. We love your show, so I'm sure that tons of people are going to watch it, and we're going to continue that conversation in 3 years from now and look backward in the future and say, you know what? We underestimated that. We're actually much, much bigger than that.
Future's so bright, we got to wear shades. So thanks again for taking the time. And we thank you for taking the time to watch today's episode. If you want more insight from industry thought leaders like Navi Azari of Kaltura, just go to the link right down there. Go to our YouTube channel and subscribe to get notifications of future episodes of our interview series. For Intelligent Research and Intelligent Video Today, I'm Steve Onderhaar. Thanks for your time.